What's going on there, guys? We back with another one. We got to talk some Stephen A. Smith on today, as you know, many people have came at him over the last few days, and we just gonna put it all in one video. First, we're gonna start with the solitaire video that came out. He said he was playing during the timeout. Then the footage comes out. There's an actual gameplay going on, and so Stephen A. Smith has chose to fire back on Sirius Radio, and this is what he had to say.
I can ask you a question. I
Sure.
can also be playing a little game
That's right.
on my phone.
That's right. Like I was doing
now.
solitaire.
What's going on here?
And I was doing what the hell I always do. And for those out there who don't like it, kiss my ass. When I'm watching the game, I'm watching the game. If there's a break in the action, it could be a dead ball, it could be a timeout or something like that. I can play the damn thing for 2 seconds. Somebody is standing over me, upper deck, zooming in on my phone, watching me and saying, "Oh, he's playing solitaire. He's not focusing on the game." I watch over 100 games a year. I'm on TV every morning for 2 hours, 10 hours live every day. And that's just one job. That don't count Countdown. That don't count Sports Center. That don't count all the obligations that I have. And I'm sitting there and getting a little break, and I decide to play a little solitaire, which, by the way, I always do. And I mean always. If I sit up there, if there's halftime, I might go on my phone for 2 minutes and play solitaire. At the end of the game, before a game, I do the same thing. Damn it, if you had a little break in between, I might have been praying it again because I like the game.
Another thing Stephen A. Smith has been heavily criticized for in recent days is saying this.
What's one word you would use to describe Giannis's career if he doesn't win another title?
Underachiever. Underachiever.
Now, that didn't go unnoticed by Jay Williams, and he made sure to fire back on First Take just a few days later after Stephen A. made those egregious statements.
That was one of your worst takes I've heard in a long time, man. That was horrible.
Mm-hmm.
I had to, you know, like I'm the little brother that has this filled with the venom sometimes when you and I go at each other, and it's all love because it's always love. But I think we really need to do a better job of reframing some of these conversations, right? And if you were to say that the franchise, the Milwaukee Bucks, have underachieved, or are the biggest underachievers with the talent of Giannis, fair. But a guy who has a 50-point closeout game, a guy who's never chased any of these dream team scenarios, a guy who's a finals MVP, a guy who's a multi-time All-Star, all NBA, all everything, global face of the game, the fact that he brought an NBA championship to Milwaukee, in the midst of the fire that he did, to call him an underachiever, I just think is an asinine comment.
So, Jay Williams said what a lot of us are thinking, right? Giannis won a title for the Milwaukee Bucks. Do we even know if we'll see another player do that in our lifetime? You know, that's how difficult it is for a team like them to win. We probably can say maybe we'll see the Celtics or the Lakers, you know, other teams like that win again at some point. But the Bucks, Giannis has as many titles as Lou Alcindor does for the Milwaukee Bucks. You know, and yeah, he won his other ones with the Lakers, but Milwaukee, you know, he did basically what Kareem has done for Milwaukee. So to have that take is wild. Now, Stephen A. Smith said this today on First Take, and it pissed Memphis Grizzlies superstar John Morant off. Let's check this out.
Marcus, listen, I know y'all got to go. You going to tell folks why nobody wants to be in Memphis, or you want me to do it?
Oh, no. For a player like me, I just don't think that the league, like, if a guy's like me, I love to be in Memphis. I embrace it, but you got to identify those guys, right? And it's not that simple, especially a younger guy to identify that wants to be in Memphis. I want to hear you say, why you think?
The people in Memphis is a great sports town, great fans, great people. Yeah. But there's an element there where cats like Jimmy Butler and others don't feel it's the safest environment. I'm talking to the local authorities in Memphis. You got to clean some of that stuff up because it's dissuasive to NBA players. They have talked about it. I know they've told me.
All right.
So Stephen A. Smith is getting a lot of pushback from Memphis media and just the people of Memphis in general. And John Morant, a few hours ago, he says and I'ma be in that 901. Source, me. Then he continues. He says, talking about the Grizz more than the NBA Finals with these Cap A sources. Instead of focusing on the performances we seen from J Dub, Shy, TJ Siakam, how this series is going, we say something negative about a city team on a national level. So John Morant, he fired back at Stephen A. Smith for making those comments. And, a lot of people in Memphis are retweeting that and sharing that. John's got his comments turned off. Everybody can't just comment back. And good. The people are calling Stephen A. to the carpet, right? For John Morant, I'm gonna say you are part of the reason though that core is probably done. They gonna give you and Jaren Jackson maybe a year tops. And if y'all don't show that y'all are trending in the right direction, they'll probably start moving you guys too. I don't know, maybe this offseason if the right deal comes, right? But because Luka got moved, so he ain't nobody else, especially Ja with his injury history and things like that. It isn't anyone I don't believe that's off limits like that, like we once thought they was. Other than like Wemby or somebody that's out of this planet like that. But Ja, I mean, I understand why he stood up for the city, but now you need to show you're a model citizen because your owner came out, when you were going through all that gun stuff and was saying that you got to show now that you can lead and be a mature leader of a team. So, I would like for him to focus more on that. Stephen A. Smith, is anybody really paying that any attention? I think a lot of people believe stuff when Shams put it, or Adrian Wojnarowski, or maybe even sometimes Brian Windhorst, because he'll get some of that inside information. But a lot of people looking at Stephen A as a shock jock, so I don't know if that even needed to be addressed. I seen what's my man name to do the Memphis media? Oh God, I can't think of his name, but he do like the news and stuff. I can't think of his name right this second. But he went in on Stephen A. Smith. And so, yeah, man, that's what I would say to that. But yeah, Stephen A., he's getting called out by everybody in Memphis for having this take, painting the city in a bad light. And I'll say this, there is an element in Memphis that, let's just say, it's like a lot of cities in America. You know what I'm saying? You could say that. If you wanted to say that, you could say that about the Lakers. We saw the documentary, Javaris Crittenton started rolling with a Crip set out there, and he was trying to be a gangbanger. So it's that element. You could be with the Chicago Bulls and go over there on the south side of Chicago, right? And end up, trying to be with those guys. You could do anything in any city is what I'm saying. And they have all this spinning the block stuff. You can do the wrong things in Miami. You can do the wrong things in Orlando. You could do the wrong things anywhere. So to try to just limit that to Memphis, I see why everybody's coming out about it. And hopefully Ja continues kind of like he was last year. No distractions at all. Stay right there, because now they really seeing if y'all gonna be that duo that they need to push forward. But they are trying to acquire draft picks, and that's why I say, you never know who's on the move next. But let me know what you guys think in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Till next time. Peace.